But you can't just work on your body and you can't just work on your skills anymore. It's not going to be good enough. Where you get an edge is working on your mind.
Just dropped off Peyton, headed to LAX. Hopefully get to this flight on time. Friday, I just landed in Minneapolis, and one thing that people don't understand about what we do is you're working when everybody else has off, and you're also working when everybody else is working. So one thing I've learned with that is work-life balance is pretty much impossible. It's not so much about work-life balance, it's about being present and being fully engaged in the tasks that you do. When you work, when you play, and letting those moments of full engagement be your little vacations. This might sound a little weird to some of you guys, but going to Whole Foods is like literally one of my most favorite things to do. Like, I get excited like I'm a little kid on Christmas, and I'm not kidding. Got done with about a 40-minute run. It was awesome to get out and move after being on that plane. I'm gonna try to find some food and check in with you guys tomorrow at camp.
Welcome to Wisconsin.
Push it. Don't just try to get through the drill. You gotta get better from it. Back in like the 90s, the 80s and 90s, when nobody thought it was important to train your body, to work on your strength, work on your conditioning, that everybody thought that was crazy to do that back then. It's like, oh, that's just a waste of time. We don't need to do that. That's for football players. That's for Olympic lifters. It's not going to help your game. And what does everybody do now? Is that an important part of what you guys do? Hopefully, if you really want to get better, yeah, it is. Okay? But you can't just work on your body and you can't just work on your skills anymore. It's not going to be good enough. Where you get an edge is working on your mind. Okay? Being able to train your mind to be focused. Being able to train your mind to view pressure situations as opportunities or to see them differently. To train your mind to be in the zone as much as possible. Everybody in here has been in that state of mind, okay? Whether you know it or not. Maybe playing the game, maybe you're out in nature somewhere. Everybody's been there, okay? But you can train your mind to get into that state just like you train your body. Your brain is a muscle. It's an organ that you train, just like you train your skills, just like you train your body, okay? So we're gonna go through a couple of different, real quick, exercises here to work on that, okay? And it's all about doing a couple things. Number one, stilling the thoughts in your mind, okay? Creating that level of focus when you're completely locked in on something. It's about getting out of your head, getting out of your thoughts and into the experience that you're going through. Whether you're playing the game, you're taking a test, you're about to go ask some girl out. Being completely locked in and focused. Okay, but you can train your mind to do that through specific exercises. And when you're going through these exercises, okay, it's training your mind to be focused. It's training your mind to be in that state. So when you get in a game and there's tons of people yelling at you, and the other team's got signs made with your girlfriend's name on it, or your coach is yelling at you because you just turn the basketball over, you can focus on the next play. You can lock back in. You can focus on the things that you can control. All right, so think that's easy? Go ahead and try to close your eyes. Okay, and go ahead and stop. Anybody notice the difference between the state of your mind when you got out of balance and the state of your mind when you were balanced? Anybody notice the difference? You guys notice the difference, right? Okay, so by practicing little things like this, and we'll do a few more throughout the day, you're training your mind to be locked in on whatever you're doing. It's just a drill, right? If you want to improve your jumper, you need instruction. You need drills to work on it. You want to improve your body, okay? You need instruction, you need exercises, you need weights, depending on where you're at. Same thing with your mind. Training your mind is just like training your body, just like training your skills. Okay? You need exercises to do it. Yes, mental toughness and things like that are a byproduct of your practices, of your training. And those do help, okay? But this speeds up that process because now you're intentionally working on it. It's focused practice. It's intentional practice. It's deliberate practice on a specific outcome that you're trying to achieve, a specific skill that you're trying to train. And when you train it more, it will show up in practice. It'll show up in games. It'll show up in taking tests.
It's simple, but it's not easy. Focus on your breathing. Focus on your breathing. You quiet your mind. You quiet your mind, you can focus. You focus, you can intentionally practice.
All right, next we're going one-on-one. Okay, one-on-one. We're going to try to take some of the moves and put them into a game situation. Okay, the game is just a series of one-on-one actions or two-on-two actions that make up the 5-on-5 play. Okay, and the more reps you get in those actions, the more they're going to show up, those skills are going to show up in a game. You got to be able to take the drill from 1-on-0 to 1-on-1 and then to 5-on-5. It's really hard to get stuff to translate from 1-on-0 or individual drills with no defender to 5-on-5. It's tough to do. You need reps, tons of reps, 1-on-1 before it's actually going to show up in a game. Okay, so when you play 1-on-1, you want to play 1-on-1 games that are realistic for the game. Playing with unlimited dribbles and no shot clock is not realistic. It's not going to show up in a game. It's got to be any 1-on-1 game you play, you should be able to pull out of the 5-on-5. Okay, so the game we're playing, down and back 1-on-1. If I got, Colton, come here. Give her your basketball. Side by side, just like this. Side by side, he's right here. All right? We got the 2 cones set up. I got to dribble around the chair at half court. He's got to run and get both feet inside of the paint. Inside of the paint. So I dribble out. He runs inside the paint. He's got to close out. All right, and now we're playing 1-on-1. You have to stay in between the 2 cones that are in the slots. for a couple reasons. Number one, I'm on offense. I gotta be able to play in my lane. Obviously, there's other guys out on the floor, and if I go outside of these cones, there's gonna be help. There's gonna be gap defenders, okay? So the tighter I play to my guy, the less chance there is for the defense to help, or the harder it is for them to help. The more ground they have to cover. The more ground they have to cover, if I drive and kick and they close out, the more ground they have to cover on the closeout. Okay, that's the first one. Second one is to try to play to shift our defender off the driving line, like we talked about before. Driving line is between you and the basket. I gotta shift him, okay? I gotta shift Cole off of the driving line somehow. I gotta shift him off the line so I can go by him. So in this game, we're working on those two things that are definitely gonna show up 5-on-5. Here's the rules. I got 5 total dribbles on offense. So when I start out here, I push the basketball out, dribble around the chair, that's 1, 2. Now I got 3 dribbles to beat them. Gotta make quick plays, quick reads, okay? I get 1 point if I score on offense. Defense, to try to incentivize you to actually play D. Number 1, you can't get on offense unless you get a stop. It's always make it, take it. Second thing, when you close out, if you can push me, I close out and I can push the defender outside of the cones at the top here, above the 3-point line, you get 2 points and you get to go on offense. Play the first guy to 7 wins. Loser's got to knock out a couple basketball push-ups. Let's go 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll play again. Everybody got it.
Just wrapped up camp, and one thing that I was reminded of today was that, kids just don't know what they don't know. They just don't. And you have to be a model for what you expect from them. If they want to improve their handle, they want to improve their shot, whatever it is, you have to be able to model the energy, the effort, the skill level, or demonstrate the skill so that they have they can grasp what it actually takes to make that come to life. Without it, they just don't know. You telling them to go harder or to spend more time in the gym, that doesn't sink in with people. That's not how we learn. We learn best through modeling. We learn best by seeing other people do or achieve the things that we're trying to achieve. And, the best way, I always say this, is the best way for you to get your players to work hard is to work hard yourself, to demonstrate what you want, to model what you want, the behavior that you're trying to get out of them so they can achieve the things that they're trying to achieve. So headed back to Minneapolis right now, gonna go grab dinner with a friend of mine tonight as a high school coach in St. Paul, and then do it all over again tomorrow.